Welcome to this Windows channel, and this is Friday. And of course, on every Friday, we have the good news, bad news from Microsoft. And we are Friday, April the 15th, 2016. So, what's new and interesting this week? On the positive side, well, we have QR codes. I think that's a great idea. QR codes coming to your blue screen of death. Of course, nobody wants to have a blue screen of death. It always is kind of something that we feel, uh, you know, your computer went awfully wrong somewhere and it crashed. But the fact that they've decided to add a QR code that you can scan with your smartphone, and it brings you to a page where there's some explanation on what the error was and hopefully maybe even a fix, is a very interesting one. For a long time, the blue screen had a major problem. It is virtually impossible to understand for most people, and even for tech guys, it's not always easy to see what's wrong. But with the QR code and everything, if they could make interesting pages that really give a lot of information, that is, I think, good news. Another interesting news is the move from Microsoft to that is suing the Department of Justice, and saying, look, we're not going to give out um, information about our clients just because you ask for it, because it's way too secret, and they just ask and don't say nothing. They don't say why, and they just say to Microsoft, just shut up and give us the details. I think that is a good move, because one of the image problems of Microsoft for a long time is the fact that a lot of people say, well, they're hand in hand with the government and stuff like that. They're not really. Microsoft gives these details because they have to. It's not complicated. When the Department of Justice gets to a company and says, "Look, we want to have this information," um, it's pretty much they have to do it, or else they can face some really bad consequences. And I think the fact that now they're suing and saying, "Okay, no, let's change the way that it's happening," is a good thing. Um, I'm aware of how some information might be very helpful, maybe to prevent some kind of terrorist attack or just plain bad guys doing bad stuff out there. Problem is, I do believe that there are some ways of obtaining information. You go to a judge and you just say, look, this guy's a bad guy. This is what he does. This is the proof that we have. Can we have a court order to have that information given to us by Microsoft, and then hand it over and say, look, we need information about this guy that is a customer of yours. Now, the other thing here is also to understand, the requests come from the Department of Justice, but who are these customers? Who are these Microsoft customers? Companies, foreign companies, foreign governments. We have no news about that at all, and they just say to Microsoft, we have to just do it. So I think that's interesting, and I think that's a good move from Microsoft to say, look, we're not going to do it like you ask us to do it, and just don't know why. In the menu side, well, there's a bug, a major bug in the Insider preview that prevented the release of 14.322 this week. Those on the mobile side, Windows 10 Mobile got the 14.322 mobile, but there's a bug that is preventing right now the release to insiders. So hopefully they're going to get it fixed, and we'll have that 14.322 pop up next week on our insider machines. And That's, not a big bad news, but I would say the biggest bad news was, of course, in March when Microsoft decided that Fable Legends would stop, you know, putting more efforts and money, and they closed the studio down. Um, with not very a lot, not a lot of information basically about why they did so. They just decided that this game will never appear. And this week they issued another information, actually on April 13th. So all of you out there, if you didn't know, if you bought any stuff, any add-ons or anything for this game, the beta version of this game, you can get total refund for everything you did for the game. Microsoft is issuing refunds, so go and get it before it stops. And sad to see that they decided to pull the plug on this great project, basically. So that's pretty much what I have for this week in the good and the bad for Microsoft. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, let us know. And hopefully you will continue following us on this channel. Thank you so much for being there.